The caravan of Honduran migrants making their way to the U.S. stormed through a border gate in Guatemala on Friday morning to run over a bridge to Mexico, where they were met with tear gas from riot police before being allowed into the country and continue their march towards America. The group of around 4,000 migrants overpowered police first in Tecun Uman, Guatemala, to make their way over the short bridge into Ciudad Hidalgo in Mexican's southernmost state of Chiapas. They had been forced to retreat and reorganize earlier in the day after being met with strong resistance. After crossing the bridge, they were confronted by a daunting force of armed Mexican officers who threw tear gas in their direction and stood in lines, lifting up children who ran towards them and standing firm behind their shields. After a standoff, they agreed they would let some of the migrants through and started asking that they form lines. They planned to allow women and children into the country first. The decision flies in the face of President Trump's plea to Mexican officials on Thursday to put an end to the caravan's progress. Though the State Department and Mexican officials have agreed on a plan to shelter any of the migrants who make asylum claims in shelters, their decision to let them carry on north on Friday sends them marching on towards the U.S. Videos showed the thousands of migrants celebrating on the bridge once they had managed to get over the crossing. They waved Honduran flags, chanted and beeped horns in victory, and celebrated as they reached the Mexican side of the bridge. Mexican police threw tear gas into the crowds, according to Guatemalan sources who spoke with dailymail.com on Friday. Mexican officials then asked them to form lines and said they would allow women and children through first. On Thursday, authorities there arrested a key activist who was waiting to welcome the migrants once they crossed over. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is on his way to Mexico to try to talk to local officials there. On Friday, the group chanted, "We are not smugglers, we are migrants," as they reorganized themselves on Friday afternoon. The stern police presence comes after President Trump appealed directly to Mexico to help block the flood of people. Hundreds of Mexican police officers and troops have stationed themselves along the other side of the tall fence which separates it from Guatemala. Guatemalan troops are also said to be putting up resistance. Mexico has implemented what the ambassador to Guatemala calls a metered entry system to try to control the vast numbers of people who are traveling there from other Central American countries. Late on Thursday night, a small number of the Honduran group who broke off from the main crowd were able to successfully cross over into Mexico. NBC reports that U.S. officials are now tracking that small group as they make progress towards the US.The migrants are fleeing Honduras, where they say they have no prospects. Many are eager to escape the gang violence they say their children are doomed to encounter as they grow up. Trump has commentated on their movements throughout by blaming their optimism on Democrats and calling their march towards America an assault on the country. On Thursday, as the group made progress through Guatemala, he tweeted, "I am watching the Democrat Party-led because they want open borders and existing weak laws. Assault on our country by Guatemala, Honduras and El Salvador, whose leaders are doing little to stop this large flow of people, including many criminals, from entering Mexico to you. In addition to stopping all payments to these countries, which seem to have almost no control over their population, I must, in the strongest of terms, ask Mexico to stop this onslaught, and if unable to do so, I will call up the U.S. military and close our southern border. The assault on our country at our southern border, including the criminal elements and drugs pouring in, is far more important to me, as president, than traitor the USMCA. Hopefully Mexico will stop this onslaught at their northern border. On the Mexican side, the foreign ministry said its government was in constant communication with members of the Caravan explaining the migrants' options. It said officials were already assisting some migrants who had crossed and requested refugee status. On Thursday, Mexican officials said they had agreed on a plan with the U.S. to establish shelters along the Mexican southern border for anyone in the Caravan who makes an asylum claim in Mexico. Just today, the Mexican government, and this is a very important step, requested the intervention of the UN, the Office of the High Commissioner on Refugees, to help Mexico review any asylum claims from the members of the Caravan. Mexican ambassador to the U.S. Geronimo Gutierrez told Fox News. That will allow us to have a process by which in our border we will make sure that of serving human rights, respecting international law, if there are legitimate claims to refugee, those can be processed in a very clear way, he added. Pompeo later released a statement to say the State Department supported the plan and would be ready to assist. We welcome the government of Mexico's statement that they will seek cooperation with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, to address immigration issues in the region, including the influx of people arriving in Mexico. The United States stands ready to assist the government of Mexico and UNHCR in this effort, he said. But the migrants are determined to plow through Mexico on foot and in trucks, eventually reaching the U.S. border, where they want to make their final crossing.